Keeping Up Appearances, 1990 to 1995, is a beloved British sitcom that captured the hearts of audiences with its unforgettable characters and delightful humor. However, behind the laughter and lightheartedness lies the somber reality of the lives of the talented actors who brought these characters to life. Tragically, many of these actors have passed away, leaving behind a legacy that continues to resonate with fans around the world. In this tribute, we honor the lives and careers of 38 cast members who contributed to the show's success, remembering not only their iconic roles but also the hardships and personal tragedies they faced. Their untimely deaths serve as a reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of their performances, which live on in the hearts of those who cherish them. This is our tribute to those who have left us too soon. Geoffrey Hughes, an actor best known for his portrayal of Onslow in Keeping Up Appearances, joined the cast in 1990 at the age of 46. His performance as Onslow, a beer-loving, unambitious brother-in-law, provided a sharp contrast to the snobbish character of Hyacinth. While the role brought him widespread recognition, it also became a defining aspect of his career, limiting his opportunities for more varied or serious roles in the years that followed. Despite his cheerful on-screen persona, Geoffrey faced significant personal struggles, particularly regarding his limited career prospects. His marriage to Susan Hughes was stable, though they remained childless, a source of quiet sadness that he rarely discussed. In 2009, Geoffrey was diagnosed with prostate cancer. Although he initially responded well to treatment, the disease made a severe comeback in 2010, leading to a rapid decline in his health. He withdrew from public life, spending his final years in isolation and pain. Geoffrey passed away on July 27, 2012, at the age of 68, after a brief but fierce battle with cancer, his once familiar on-screen laughter silenced by fate's cruel hand. Josephine Tuzin, who portrayed Elizabeth Warden in Keeping Up Appearances starting in 1990 at the age of 59, played a kind but perpetually anxious neighbor, frequently caught up in Hyacinth's social schemes. With a long and steady career in British television, Josephine was often cast in supporting roles, never quite achieving the leading lady status she had hoped for. Her personal life was marred by the tragic loss of her husband, actor Leonard Rossiter, who passed away suddenly in 1984, leaving her a widow. Josephine never remarried and spent much of her later years in solitude, filling the emptiness with her work. As her health declined in her later years, she gradually withdrew from public life. Josephine Tuzin passed away on August 18, 2022, at the age of 91, fading quietly from public memory. Her legacy endures as that of a talented actress whose brilliance was often underappreciated, and her contributions to the arts will always be cherished and remembered. Clive Swift, a gifted actor, portrayed Richard Bucket in Keeping Up Appearances starting in 1990 at the age of 54. His role as Richard, the long-suffering and devoted husband of the domineering Hyacinth, brought him widespread fame, yet it also led to significant career disappointment. Despite being a trained actor with dreams of larger, more dramatic roles, Keeping Up Appearances became his most prominent career achievement, overshadowing other opportunities. His personal life was marked by hardship. His marriage to novelist Margaret Drabble ended in divorce in 1975, and despite having 3 children together, their relationship was never warm. In his later years, Clive became known for his blunt attitude, often expressing dissatisfaction with the legacy of the show and his involvement in it. His health deteriorated in the 2010s, leading him to live in increasing seclusion. Clive passed away on February 1, 2019, at the age of 82, following a brief illness. His career remained filled with untapped potential, and he left behind a legacy forever tied to the role of Richard, a character he had once openly disdained. Shirley Stelfox, who played Rose in Keeping Up Appearances from 1990 at the age of 49, infused her character with a bold, flirtatious energy that contrasted sharply with Hyacinth's rigid standards, adding to the show's humor. Though Shirley enjoyed a long career in television and theater, she was often typecast in supporting roles and never achieved the widespread recognition she deserved. Her marriage to actor Don Henderson was deeply affected by his prolonged battle with throat cancer, leaving both emotionally and financially drained. Following his death in 1997, Shirley was left grieving, and although she threw herself into work to cope, loneliness continued to haunt her. In her later years, she silently fought cancer, withdrawing from public life. Shirley Stelfox passed away on December 7, 2015, at the age of 74, succumbing to the disease in quiet solitude, her death overshadowed by the passing of more prominent figures in the industry. Nonetheless, her contributions to the arts, especially her role as Rose, will always be treasured and remembered. Mary Miller, who played Rose in Keeping Up Appearances starting in 1991 at the age of 54, brought the character of the flirtatious and love-seeking sister to life, adding humor and chaos to Hyacinth's world. A talented singer and stage actress, she found success in productions like The Phantom of the Opera, but it was television that brought her the broadest recognition. Despite her bright screen presence, Mary Miller faced personal struggles. Her marriage to Raphael D. Frame lasted until her death, but balancing career and personal life was always a challenge. In 1998, she was diagnosed with ovarian cancer, and despite a brave fight, the disease spread rapidly. In the final months of her life, she was too weak to continue working, and the illness quickly took its toll. Mary Miller passed away on November 10, 1998, at the age of 62, her vibrant spirit fading too early, leaving behind an unfulfilled career and a tragically shortened life. Her contributions and talent will always be remembered, and her portrayal of Rose will forever be an integral part of Keeping Up Appearances. Charmian May, who played Counselor Mrs. Nugent in Keeping Up Appearances in 1990 at the age of 53, portrayed a stern and authoritative character, a sharp contrast to Hyacinth's social ambition. A highly educated woman, Charmian was successful in both television and film, often cast in roles of authority due to her elegant demeanor and charm. Despite achieving many career milestones, her personal life was less fulfilling. She never married and spent much of her life caring for her ailing mother, a duty she considered a priority, which left her emotionally distant from others. After her mother's death, Charmian struggled with loneliness, unable to build deep relationships in her later years. She was diagnosed with cancer and endured her illness quietly, never seeking sympathy or support. Charmian May passed away on October 24, 2002, at the age of 65, her death largely unnoticed by the public, marking a quiet end to a life spent largely in seclusion. Nonetheless, her contributions to the arts will always be remembered, with her portrayal of Counselor Mrs. Nugent standing as a key highlight in her career. Gretchen Franklin, who played Daddy's fiancée in Keeping Up Appearances in 1990 at the age of 79, brought a unique warmth and humor to her role. Though best known for playing Ethel Skinner in EastEnders, her career spanned from the early days of British television, and she left a lasting impression on audiences with her memorable supporting roles. Despite her success, her personal life was marked by loneliness. After marrying actor John Casson, she never remarried following his death, and her lack of children led her to become increasingly isolated. Later in life, she withdrew from the public eye, finding little comfort in the industry that had once surrounded her. As old age took its toll, she became frail and her health declined, spending her final years in solitude. Gretchen Franklin passed away on July 11, 2005, at the age of 94, with her death going largely unnoticed by the media. However, she will always be remembered for the charm and talent she brought to unforgettable moments for audiences. Gerald Sim, who played the vicar in Keeping Up Appearances in 1990 at the age of 65, portrayed a patient, mild-mannered clergyman caught between the social aspirations of Hyacinth. Despite his extensive career in British film and television, Gerald was often overshadowed by his famous sister Sheila Sim and her husband, Richard Attenborough. Although a respected actor, he never achieved leading man status and was frequently cast in forgettable supporting roles. His marriage to Deidre Benner was stable but childless, leaving a void in their lives that they never discussed. In his later years, he struggled with dementia, which gradually eroded his once sharp mind, causing him to lose touch with reality. Gerald Sim passed away on December 11, 2014, at the age of 89, becoming a largely forgotten figure in the British entertainment industry, with his contributions mostly unrecognized. However, his portrayal of the vicar will always be remembered as an important part of what made Keeping Up Appearances such a beloved show. Dinah Sheridan played an elegant hotel guest in Keeping Up Appearances in 1991 at the age of 71, bringing sophistication and grace to the show. A famous actress, she was best known for her roles in Genevieve, 1953, and The Railway Children, 1970. However, behind her successful career, she faced deep personal sadness. She married 4 times, with the greatest pain being her divorce from actor Jimmy Hanley, father of her 3 children. This relationship, once filled with love, ended due to infidelity and professional pressures, leaving Dinah emotionally devastated. Her later marriages were brief, and as she grew older, severe arthritis limited her mobility and independence. Though she once had an active social life, Dinah spent her final years in quiet solitude, outliving many of her close friends and family members. She peacefully passed away at home on November 25, 2012, at the age of 92, but the loneliness of her later years cast a shadow over what was a long and tumultuous life. Jean Anderson played the formidable Mrs. Fortescue in Keeping Up Appearances in 1991 at the age of 84, portraying a character with authority and strict discipline, adding a powerful presence to the show. A respected actress, she had a standout role in The Brothers, 1972 to 1976, but despite her lengthy career, she still faced age discrimination in the entertainment industry. Jean never married, and the great love of her life died in a tragic accident, leaving her with a lingering sadness that lasted throughout her life. As she grew older, she became more isolated, with only her work serving as a source of motivation. However, as acting opportunities dwindled, her loneliness deepened. Jean faced age-related macular degeneration, which deprived her of the ability to read scripts, a loss she could not overcome. In her later years, she withdrew from public life and faded into obscurity. On April 1, 2001, she passed away at the age of 93, nearly blind and largely forgotten by the entertainment world to which she had dedicated her life. Nigel Davenport played the Admiral in Keeping Up Appearances in 1993 at the age of 65, bringing an authoritative presence and commanding figure to the show. He was widely known for his roles in A Man for All Seasons, 1966, and Chariots of Fire, 1981, but his career was filled with disappointments due to missed opportunities and roles that did not bring lasting recognition. Although he was married twice, both relationships were unsuccessful, and his son, actor Jack Davenport, shared the difficulties of truly connecting with his father. As his health declined, he withdrew from public life and contracted pneumonia, becoming increasingly dependent on caregivers, a stark contrast to the powerful image he once portrayed. On October 25, 2013, Nigel Davenport passed away at the age of 85 in solitude, his commanding presence replaced by a quiet ending that did not receive the recognition he deserved for his significant contributions to film and television. Bernard Archard played a distinguished hotel guest in Keeping Up Appearances in 1991 at the age of 75, bringing an air of dignity and serenity to his role. A veteran actor, he appeared in famous shows such as Doctor Who, Z-Cars, and The Avengers. Despite his extensive career, he never reached the fame he had hoped for. Privately, he lived with actor James Belchamber, although their relationship was never openly discussed due to societal stigma at the time. His later years were marked by isolation and declining health. He suffered from memory loss, gradually forgetting the career he had worked so hard to build. On May 1, 2008, Bernard Archard passed away at the age of 91, his contributions to British television largely overlooked. His death went almost unnoticed in the industry to which he had dedicated his life. Bruce Montague played Lord in Keeping Up Appearances in 1995 at the age of 56, portraying an aristocrat who represented the upper-class world Hyacinth always longed to be a part of. A veteran stage and television actor, Montague had a career that spanned more than 5 decades, with roles in Doctor Who, Hollyoaks, and Butterflies, but he never achieved the widespread fame he desired. Despite his dedication to the profession, he often felt overshadowed by more prominent colleagues. His marriage to actress Barbara Latham was stable but lacked deep emotional warmth, and they had no children, leaving Montague with a sense of incompleteness in his family life. In his later years, financial instability weighed on him as acting opportunities became increasingly rare, and he had to take on supporting roles just to make ends meet. As his health deteriorated, he silently battled cancer, not allowing others to see his pain. On August 16, 2022, Bruce Montague passed away at the age of 83, leaving an impression on audiences, but his passing went largely unnoticed, a quiet end to a life filled with challenges and dedication. Jean Mockford played Mrs. East in Keeping Up Appearances in 1990 at the age of 64, bringing warmth and quirky charm to the film. She was best known for her role in Rent-A-Ghost, but her career was largely composed of guest appearances in shows such as Doctors, Little Britain, and The Bill. Though a respected supporting actress, she was never widely recognized, leading to financial instability. Jean married television director David Simeon, but their relationship became strained due to long periods of separation for work. Their only daughter became estranged from her, leaving the actress feeling isolated as she grew older. In her later years, memory loss took away her recollections of her career and loved ones. Placed in a nursing home, she spent her final years in confusion and loneliness, lost in a world of forgotten moments. Jean Mockford passed away on November 16, 2018, at the age of 92, her death a quiet and regretful one for someone who had given so much to the entertainment industry but had received little recognition in return. Terrence Hardiman played Eric in Keeping Up Appearances in 1993 at the age of 56, portraying a calm and steady figure amidst the chaos caused by Hyacinth's character. Despite having a long acting career, he was forever associated with his chilling role in The Demon Headmaster, a role that defined him and limited new opportunities. Although he appeared in popular series like Doctor Who, Cadfael, and Prime Suspect, he struggled with frustration, being seen only as a villain. Off-screen, Hardiman was a devoted husband and father, yet he always felt insecure about his career, fearing he would be forgotten. As acting opportunities became rare, he withdrew from public life, living in solitude and reflecting on a career that never brought him the fulfillment he had hoped for. Terrence Hardiman passed away on April 18, 2023, at the age of 86, leaving behind an impressive acting legacy but also many regrets about what was left unachieved. Jennifer Daniel played Mrs. Lennox in Keeping Up Appearances in 1992 at the age of 56, portraying an elegant and educated woman, completely contrasting Hyacinth's pretentiousness. Famous in the 1960s for her leading roles in The Kiss of the Vampire and The Reptile, she was once considered a promising talent. However, over time, important roles became scarce, and she was relegated to smaller parts on television, struggling to maintain a place in the industry. Jennifer married actor Dinsdale Landon, and although they shared a deep friendship, not having children left a void in her later years. As her husband's health deteriorated, she became his devoted caregiver, sacrificing her own happiness during this time. The loneliness from a fading career, combined with the burden of personal loss, led to her disillusionment. Jennifer Daniel passed away on August 16, 2017, at the age of 81, leaving a mark on audiences despite her life and career often going unrecognized. Barry Gosney played Yokel in Keeping Up Appearances in 1993 at the age of 67, portraying a simple farmer, highlighting the class obsession that Hyacinth's character continually tried to overcome. A veteran actor with a career spanning decades in both television and stage, Gosney never truly achieved fame, often being cast in supporting roles. Despite his dedication to the craft, he remained overlooked and was a forgotten name in the entertainment world. His personal life was equally troubled. A brief marriage in his 30s ended in divorce, leaving him without a family, and he spent most of his later years in solitude. As his career faded, he faced financial difficulties, living in a modest nursing home and rarely visited. Severe arthritis robbed him of his independence, and he struggled through dark days. On January 24, 2008, at the age of 81, Barry Gosney passed away after a severe fall, closing a life full of struggles and unrecognized efforts. Trevor Bannister played the salesman in Keeping Up Appearances in 1994 at the age of 60, bringing charm and wit to the role, adding an interesting nuance to the show. Though he gained early fame for playing Mr. Lucas in Are You Being Served?, his career later stagnated as he became typecast and struggled to find new opportunities. While enjoying some brief successes on stage, television roles became fewer, and he felt overshadowed by younger actors. His personal life was also challenging. His first marriage broke down due to an unstable career, and although he later found love with Pamela Carson, the lack of children was a constant source of regret for him. Despite achieving much, he still felt unfulfilled in life. His later years were filled with depression and loneliness as he lost many close friends. On April 14, 2011, while gardening, Trevor Bannister passed away at the age of 76 from a heart attack, collapsing alone in his backyard, closing a life full of effort but also regrets. Ian Lavender played the security officer in Keeping Up Appearances in 1995 at the age of 49, adding a bit of bureaucratic humor to the film. Best known for his role as Private Pike in Dad's Army, his early success became a double-edged sword, as he became associated with only one role. Despite his efforts to expand his career with other projects, these attempts were met with indifference from the public and the industry, leading to financial instability and deteriorating mental health. His first marriage ended in divorce, leaving him feeling lonely and adrift. Though he later married Michelle Hardy, the feeling of failure in his career always haunted him. In his later years, he suffered 2 strokes, which severely impacted his health and rendered him unable to work. This once energetic performer gradually withdrew from public life, living in isolation as his health declined. Ian Lavender passed away on February 2, 2024, at the age of 77, after a prolonged battle with illness. His artistic legacy remains cherished, though his personal life and career were filled with challenges and sorrow. Una Stubbs played Mrs. Moody in Keeping Up Appearances in 1995 at the age of 58, portraying a sharp, pragmatic woman, completely contrasting Hyacinth's theatrics. Though beloved for her roles in Till Death Us Do Part and Sherlock, her personal life was full of turmoil. Her first marriage to actor Peter Gilmore ended in divorce, a deep emotional blow for her. Despite remarrying later, she never fully overcame the pain from her first failed marriage. As a devoted mother to 3 children, she often struggled with guilt over the sacrifices her career demanded, leading to a constant tug-of-war between career success and family happiness. In her later years, Una Stubbs battled osteoporosis and arthritis, which gradually caused her to withdraw from public life. Once an energetic person, she became weaker, suffering from chronic pain and losing many close friends. After a long battle with illness, she passed away on August 12, 2021, at the age of 84, leaving behind a treasured artistic legacy, though her life was not without its challenges and sorrows. Jack Smethurst played the man in the phone box in Keeping Up Appearances in 1995 at the age of 63, portraying an ordinary man growing frustrated with a faulty public telephone. Though best known for playing Eddie Booth in Love Thy Neighbor, 1972 to 1976, his association with this controversial sitcom haunted his career, limiting future opportunities as outdated themes were phased out. His personal life was also difficult. His long-term relationship with actress Julie Nichols was tested by financial troubles and the decline of his career. Despite having 4 children, as old age approached, he became increasingly distant from his family, sinking into faded memories of the past. The pain from arthritis and memory loss made it harder for him to move easily, gradually stripping away the glory of his earlier years. In his later years, he lived in obscurity, rarely recognized and feeling forgotten. Jack Smethurst passed away on February 16, 2022, at the age of 89 from natural causes. His legacy, though fading with time, remains an unforgettable part of British television culture, especially through his memorable roles. Angus Lennie played Mr. Farini in Keeping Up Appearances in 1995 at the age of 65, portraying a refined but mysterious character. Though widely known for his role as Pilot Officer Archibald Ives in The Great Escape, 1963, Lennie's career was primarily filled with supporting roles, preventing him from achieving long-lasting fame. Never having married, he often joked about his single life, but close friends knew he longed for companionship. Lennie once confided in friends about his deep regrets, particularly his decision to prioritize his acting career over personal happiness. As his health declined due to chronic respiratory issues, he moved into a nursing home, where his once vibrant social life gradually diminished. His later years were marked by loneliness, as many of his peers passed away, leaving him with few visitors. Angus Lennie passed away on September 14, 2014, at the age of 84, in a nursing home, marking the end of a life devoted to the arts but filled with regret over missed opportunities. Rita Davies played Mrs. Lomax in Keeping Up Appearances in 1995 when she was 62 years old, bringing a quirky yet lovable quality to the character, contributing to the warm atmosphere of the show. With a long career, Davies appeared in many small but memorable roles, including in Monty Python and the Holy Grail and the 9 Ages of Nakedness. However, she never achieved the level of fame she had longed for. Behind the scenes, her personal life faced many challenges, particularly in her marriage to an unfaithful actor, which left her emotionally drained. She had 2 children, but the demands of her career and personal struggles gradually distanced her from her family, leaving her without support in her later years. In her final years, she struggled with health issues and financial difficulties, living in obscurity and lacking recognition from the industry to which she had dedicated her life. Rita Davies passed away on January 19, 2016, at the age of 82, and her death went largely unacknowledged in the entertainment world. However, her contributions to the arts remain cherished by those who admired her. Sue Lloyd took on the role of Mrs. Drummond in Keeping Up Appearances in 1993 when she was 54 years old, bringing a refined and graceful touch to the show. Her breakthrough came with her role in The Ipcress File, 1965, followed by a long-running role in Crossroads, but despite her beauty and talent, roles became scarce as she aged. Her marriage to actor Ronald Allen was both a source of joy and pain. She cared for him through his battle with cancer until his death in 1991. That loss left her devastated, and she withdrew from the public eye, struggling with her grief in solitude and turning to alcohol for solace. Although once a famous screen icon, she gradually faded from the spotlight as her former colleagues moved on. In the early 2000s, she was diagnosed with cancer and faced months of debilitating pain, with few visitors to comfort her. Sue Lloyd passed away on October 20, 2011, at the age of 72, after a long battle with the disease. She is remembered for her quiet contributions and the subtle roles that made a lasting impression on her audience. James Ottaway took on the role of Mr. Oxley in Keeping Up Appearances in 1990 at the age of 82, presenting an image of a kindly older gentleman with a wise demeanor. A talented supporting actor, Ottaway frequently appeared in British TV series such as Z Cars, The Saint, and Dixon of Dock Green, but he never achieved the fame that would have brought financial stability in his later years. His devotion to acting caused strain in his personal life. His wife frequently lived apart due to his work commitments, and he was unable to create a stable family environment. His only son gradually became distant, and although Ottaway tried to mend the relationship, the wounds were too deep. In his later years, his eyesight deteriorated, and arthritis prevented him from working, leading to isolation and difficulty making a living. Ottaway spent his final years in a small, cluttered apartment, surviving on a modest pension from his acting career. He passed away peacefully on June 16, 1999, at the age of 90, ending a life of quiet dedication to the arts, but also filled with personal hardship. Bernard Holly played the restaurant manager in Keeping Up Appearances in 1993 at the age of 53, bringing an image of a patient and professional man trying to maintain order amidst Hyacinth's endless demands. Earlier, he was a rising star, recognized in Doctor Who and Z Cars, but his career never reached the heights he hoped for. After a few notable roles, he was relegated to minor parts, leading to financial difficulties and forcing him to continue working well into his later years. His personal life was also fraught with issues. His marriage to wife Jane was marked by emotional distance. Despite having a son, Daniel, their relationship remained strained, with long periods of silence between them. In his later years, Holly struggled with a chronic illness that slowly weakened him, and he withdrew from public life. Bernard Holly passed away on November 22, 2021, at the age of 81, leaving a lasting impression on audiences with his memorable roles and quiet contributions to the arts. John Arnott played Sir Edward in Keeping Up Appearances in 1993 at the age of 76, bringing a noble and authoritative air to the role. A veteran actor, he was known for his work in The Saint and Robin Hood, but despite his talent, he never achieved lasting fame. As he grew older, significant roles became scarce, forcing him to accept smaller, often overlooked parts to sustain himself. His personal life was full of pain, particularly after his marriage dissolved in the 1970s, and his beloved daughter cut ties with him after years of unresolved disputes. By the late 1990s, Arnott's health rapidly declined due to dementia, causing confusion and isolation, with few visitors and little contact with former colleagues. John Arnott passed away on December 21, 1999, at the age of 82, spending his final years in silence, almost forgotten in the entertainment world. However, his acting legacy is still remembered, contributing significantly to the films and shows in which he appeared. What do you think about the passing of so many actors from Keeping Up Appearances? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this content, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell to catch our latest video.